Yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 176 of Splinterlands 101. Joining us once again, co-hosts of the show, finest gentleman who ever lived, etc. Matt Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
Man behind the P5PSA, Geotrix.
Hello, how are we?
How are we all, gentlemen?
Very well. Very well.
Yeah, really good. I listened to Dave McCoy's The People's Guild podcast, and yeah, just great to just have on in the background while you're doing other things, and hear guys who are passionate about the game talking about it, and it's like nearly a 3-hour extravaganza. So they go all right at the People's Guild. You think it's going to be like 3 hours. I don't know if I've got time for that, and then you just start listening, and before you know it, you're done. So yeah, good show. They always knock it out of the park.
The People's Guild while I'm playing Civ 5 because it's audio only, so there's nothing to watch. So I'm playing Civ 5
Exactly.
and just listening to People's Guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Bojangles.
Great show. Otherwise all going well. I've been having some thoughts about AI, just kind of the philosophy of AI and where it's all going. And I got a 15-year-old now, and we're trying to work out how his career is going to look and how his life, I guess, is going to look in the face of perhaps AI, but also humanoid robots powered by AI that are essentially, like Optimus that Elon's building.
New slave race.
How does that look? And I'm thinking there's different ways that you can make a living, make an income, earn. There's what being an expert in something is what you can do. And then there's what you have, what you own. And what you can do, what you know is essentially meaningless compared to all the information on the internet, which is what a humanoid robot with AI would know. So he's going to compete, outcompete you there. You're out of a job. He's taken it if you're relying on what you know. If it's about what you can do, then again, humanoid robot is going to be able to do anything you can do by definition, and they can be specialized. So, say you're an underwater welder, scuba diving welder on an oil rig. Well, the robots don't need all of the extra gear that you would need, and they don't need danger money and the like. So even if it's something really detailed and intricate and difficult, they can't be replaced by just AI on a computer. If you're not a desk job, you're actually doing something, then you're still facing the prospect of being displaced by AI, humanoid robots. And so if it's not what you know and it's not what you can do, realistically, the only thing I can think that is still a niche for humans is what you own, things that you own. So if you own an apartment block, people need somewhere to live. That's now your thing. That's your source of income. And I thought of the example of a cherry picker. If you own a cherry picker and people who need a cherry picker rent that off you, they might be sending up to humanoid robots up in the cherry picker, but they're still needing a cherry picker, and they're still going to get it from you. And there's a problem there in that somebody who's going to be a regular customer is incentivized to just buy his own cherry picker rather than just to continue to rent from you. So there's some need to go out and almost chase the work, ad hoc cherry picker jobs from people who happen to need that asset that you own. But because what you know and what you can do are kind of being replaced, really what you own is going to be, I think, the only way that we can really earn a living in future in the face of all these changes. And so then I thought, well, if your cherry picker is competing against a cherry picker that a regular customer would buy, then realistically your best thing to own would be something that is not easily reproducible, something that is finite and rare, and something that's very difficult for people to get from anywhere but from you. And like a lot of my philosophical discussions, I wound up back at flesh columns. Because a cherry picker is going to wear out. You got maintenance costs and the like. It could get stolen and what have you. But if you own an asset on a blockchain and it's an asset that other people can borrow from you in exchange for money, then AI can't just decide to have that, right? Just like a guy can't just decide to, a guy could just decide to buy a cherry picker instead of renting it from you, but a guy can't just decide to magic up some more flesh golems. If he wants to play with them, he's got to buy them off the market or rent them off somebody who owns them. And so I really feel like the rise of AI almost vindicates what we've been doing here in Splinterlands, because this is a case of what you own. And I could see a future where what you own in Splinterlands assets is one of the main or even your main income source, simply because everything else that you might do or know, you've been put out of work by robots. So I kind of feel like this is going full circle in my head. Feels like I'm vindicating why I've been here for so long and why I've been doing this and why I've been prioritizing that, is that I recognize that anything I can do and anything I know is not going to measure up against robots in the future. But if somebody wants a flesh golem, they're going to have to rent it from me. That's my plan, I guess. So yeah, just some thoughts that I had on all that. And I'm thinking I might write a Hive post that I'm a little bit more eloquent with it. But yeah, I really feel that's put a bomb under me for accumulation of more Splinterlands assets. Get them nice and cheap, and then hang on to them and not even sell them. Just rent them out to people who need them down the track. And that if robots do end up replacing so many of the things that we do and well, that's going to leave a lot of time for people to want entertainment, to entertain themselves. And so gaming is going to be a big part of that. So assets that don't wear down, can't be stolen, can't be easily reproduced by anybody else, can't be counterfeit. All of the things that we've been doing here for years are being vindicated by this rise in AI. And yeah, what do you guys feel?
Bob, you go first.
Well, getting back to your cherry picker example, I think, well, a robot with a telescopic neck would completely outdo the need for your cherry picker. So,
yeah, that's right. That's right. And so you want assets that can't be replaced, either where you can't buy another cherry picker and you can't use a different thing to do that. And as long as there's not a new Flesh Golem card that's exactly the same, and even then he wouldn't be eligible for alpha tournaments and the like. So it's about substitution, right? You don't want to charge too much, or people will find another way around it. But it's about charging an amount and having that as an income source. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Man, I've thought about this before, right? And a lot of people are going to get displaced, right? That's just what's going to happen. And I feel like AI is actually the perfect thing, the perfect brain, hive mind to get people onto a UBI. Yeah? You've been displaced. Now you're under this time limited sensitive currency that you can only spend, within a certain amount of time. It's the perfect push to get most of the cattle on board onto that way, right? Onto you own nothing and be happy. Yeah, it's tricky. As for solutions, well, I don't really have solutions here. I just have I just look at things and go like, hey, that could lead there. That could definitely, do. But yeah, I'm actually excited to see it anyway, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. The UBI and CBDCs, all that
They
idea
all
of we're going
go.
to control your money, and
They all go hand in hand. It all plays perfectly into that agenda, I feel.
yeah.
But
And
you're
look,
right.
it is slavery. Like when you think, a plantation owner would say, "Oh, look, rather than paying you for your work, I'm going to put up a shelter, and I'm going to get you food, and I'll decide what you spend your money on. In fact, you don't even get to really touch your money, right? I'm your better. I know what you should be." So and they fell for it too. A lot of the slaves didn't even know they were slaves. Didn't
Have you
get
seen
that.
the Jones plantation?
I haven't seen it yet, no. But Larkin Rose does some brilliant stuff, and I've read the book. yeah, I've heard good things about the movie. I forgot to watch it. But it's that same vibe, right? So they're saying,
Yeah.
look, we know what
And-
you should be spending your money on, rather than it's
Yeah.
your money. It's our money. It's the
Yeah. But
villagers'
it's like
money, and we
it's
know
like
better.
it's like what Bob used to tell me when he was on board ship and all that. Dude, he had nothing to spend it on anyway. Everything was covered, but at least they gave him like money that was his, right? Right. But now
That's
it's
right.
like if they're taking that part away, it's like you're doing a role that you don't need that. Like you're not even out there at the shops enough to even want that or use that.
Mhm.
It's like what's the point? And that's
Yep.
why
And
the time sensitive money will fall into that as well. It's like, oh well, you're only there once every month. I mean, or once every fortnight.
yeah,
So let that lapse and replenish.
yeah, and it's when you think about it, like if you're doing actual work, then you can demand to be paid in actual money. But if you're just putting your hand up and saying, "I've been put out of work by robots. I need help surviving, please," they
You
have
bec-
they've got all the momentum in the world to say, "Yeah, here's your money,
yeah,
but you're not going to spend it on frivolous stuff. It's just keeping you alive and
yeah,
like you can't buy bourbon with it because that would be so and look it's there too, there's welfare cards and all the like that they've tried with Aboriginals in the middle of Australia, where they say you get your welfare but it's going to be on this card and you can only spend it at these places,
yeah,
and all of
yeah,
that is like it's just further control. Like we are going to look after you, but
yeah,
you're going to be children, right?
yeah.
We're running
And
a
imagine,
kindergarten. All your fruit's sliced
yeah,
up really nicely, but you are still at a kindergarten, and there's the
yeah.
big high walls you can't climb out
And
of.
imagine the control. Let's say this is next level AI implementation and all that. But what if like implants inside the humans that literally put us onto the mainframe as well? Imagine the digital control they have now. They got
Hmm.
all autonomy over you.
Yeah,
Like
it's terrifying.
once
And
you're
the
yeah
escape from that isn't being a good plumber, because you're going to get replaced by a humanoid plumber, right?
yeah
And the escape from that isn't being an expert in something, because again, Grok knows more than you, right? So the
yeah
escape from that, it's not even like owning a cherry picker or an residential apartment block, because
mm,
you own this block, but the land under it and everything that goes on in it is all controlled by somebody who's not you. It's
mm,
ownership light, right? But your crypto assets, you own them. Own. You'll own nothing and be happy. Good luck, Klaus Schwab.
exactly.
Right? I own
Harsh.
my flesh golems. What are you going to do about it? Right? You have to physically come and kill me to stop me from owning my flesh golems. Right? And that's real ownership. And I think that's what's gonna be my your only real safe haven, right, for the storm that's brewing, because it's not your skills and it's not the stuff that you own in meat space, because all of that's covered, right? All of that is yours as much as they want it to be yours. It's the stuff that they can't take from you. That's the only thing you really own.
And there's that force, right? Like there's going to be a counter AI, right, for the government AI or something. There's going to be different AIs playing different roles, doing different things, achieving different end goals. They have different, different things going on and different, just everything's different.
Yeah, well,
And it's
government,
like,
like government and AI too. Like
yeah,
that's okay. All of these politicians have spent decades convincing people that somebody needs to be in charge. There needs to be some intelligence in
yeah,
charge. But they've also trained us to hate politicians. So what's going to happen when somebody says, "Hey, let's vote for AI and not this guy"?
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of people are going to vote for AI to run the country and not Albanese, because they've been convinced that you need somebody in charge. But if there's this selfless alternative here that's not a real scumbag, and so politicians might have done themselves out of a job and led us all down the path to a Terminator style future. But hey, what are you
yeah,
going to do, right? It's not up to us.
yeah.
All that's up to
Mm.
us is prioritizing stacking cards on a blockchain.
Yep. Yep. And again, is AI actually just some sort of, dare I say, natural progression for humanity? And these elites are just slowly pushing us into the direction where we're naturally going anyway? I don't know. Like, I think it was Terence McKenna said, like the event horizon, like the time beyond that point where everything's just so crazy, and it's the next evolvement or evolution of whatever this is, whatever it means to be human or the next form of consciousness. Who knows? Who knows? Is AI just inevitable? Right? Is it just inevitable? I don't know. We've just seen advancement with technology. Does it just naturally lead us there?
Mm.
You
And the
know?
other question to ask yourself is, are we seeing the AI that other people had 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And we're only just getting a taste of it now. And what they're using is 20 years ahead of what we
Yeah.
get to see. That
I
would be
think you're right.
terrifying, right?
Well,
If
remember,
there's
like,
AI out there that's 20
yeah,
years advanced of what I'm just doing with Grok now,
yeah.
that's
Well, remember all the movies? The Terminator. In the 90s, they were literally telling you about hive mind technology. Like, showing you like humanoid robots and gel and carbon life forms that will just form into like a little mold and then build itself back up. It's like, what the heck? Little nanobots and stuff. Like, it's there. It's programming you. In a way. In a way. Yeah. I know Bob's got some interesting takes about all of that as well.
We always take for granted that, especially in the field of technology, that what we've got is at least 2 or 3 generations behind, because the companies need to make their money back for R&D. They've got like a backlog. The next model has been sitting in a warehouse for 10 years, sort of stuff. We accept that. So when it comes to cutting edge, and like every time I see some new drone footage, like particularly of the drones, like they're getting so high tech. Like, and you think about basically it's just four-blade helicopter.
Rotors,
How simple is that? And how far back has that kind of technology been around before we ever got to even know about it? And when by the time something is commonplace and it's like a new project in the crypto space or a new project, by the time you hear about it, it's too late. That's why you don't jump on pump and dumps and things. Same thing with the technology. Like where if you wanted to compete against a military, like a United States military or the private sector that produces all of that, like you could only base your approach on what you know available. The technologies that would exist in that field of quantum mechanics, even teleportation devices, cloaking technologies, like there's a whole bunch of stuff. And I think everything that is incredible in that field began as a conspiracy theory until someone finally said, yeah, we do have these.
It's possible.
So anything that the mind can conceive, I think we already have. And there's things that your mind probably can't conceive of yet. We're still a couple of paradigm shifts behind for you to be able to conceive of something they already have. Right?
I'm just picturing Trump in the White House with his feet up on a couch playing Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Just laughing at the common folk because we don't get it till whenever.
Yeah, he's already got it.
Delayed again to 2026. Yeah.
Tony Hawk's 15. Yeah, I don't know. We can't know these things, but I think we need to best, especially yourself, Gio. You've got a daughter. I've got 3 kids. It's something that you need to think about because this is the world is changing so quick, and I don't know what it's going to look like for them. And I want to position them well to be able to handle that. And if I can give them 100 plots of Splinterlands land each, when they turn 21, and that's something that's sufficient to make an income off, then fantastic, right? Like that's what else can you give them? I don't know what else.
How do we plan their positioning into the new world? I don't know. I don't have the answers, man. Because everything's changing so rapidly. I don't. All you can do is sort of like guess and throw and have a hunch on what's going to happen.
And this is why I'm saying it's got to be stuff that you own. that you can then make an income off of, right? And the only
Yeah.
stuff you own is stuff that's on a blockchain. So again, it just brings me straight back to Splinterlands. This is a solid project. It's been 7 years. It hasn't collapsed as a Ponzi scheme, but it is decentralized too. There's validators all over the world. It's on Hive, which has validators all over the world, right? Witnesses all over the world. This is a really, really solid option compared to all of the other trash that's out there. Because some people say, hey, let's buy gold. All right, cool. But I think Uganda just found, I don't know, 100 cubic kilometers of gold or something like that. It's like, wow, what's that going to do to the gold price now? The gold supply is just through the roof. This might be really easy to collect too, but it might be, so you don't know what's going on there. So I think assets are what you want to aim for, but also assets that are outside of the control of others. Yeah. And I don't think that anything that's not protected by a private key really fits that bill. So that for me is my focus going forward, especially every time I see more AI and another really impressive video that's like, can't believe this is AI. I just think, all right, now's the time to really buckle down and stack those assets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just weird times, man. Weird times. The landscape's changing right in front of our very eyes. Like think about 10, 20 years ago, this would be madness, with what's happening.
Yeah. Heavy.
Plummeting towards the next reset.
Yeah. It feels like that, doesn't it? Like they need a reset. Like everything's hyperinflated, they're just like...
It's funny though, because you want to balance. You want to balance. 500 years ago, there's some farmer in his field, and his son and grandson are going to have the exact same life that he had. It's just going to be the same.
Yeah.
You're born, you live the same way your grandfather did, doing the same stuff he did for 50, 60 years, and then you die, and your son does. It's like, okay, that's kind of boring, but
yeah.
But the opposite end, where things are changing so constantly you can't keep up and couldn't possibly understand what's going on, that's a little bit terrifying too. So we need a good balance, and I think the 90s was probably the best. That was the time when everything was moving at a pace where we could all be hopeful, but not terrified.
This was the last time that a parent was actually able to help their children with their math homework.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
But yeah, beyond that, changing the topic slightly, Beaker's done a new release of his land page, which is actually really cool. I don't know, Bob, if you want to pull it up and have a look at it. I've shared a link in the in our chat there. So that's only just dropped about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. He's posted that, and it looks really, really cool. So some new stuff in there for managing land. All of these third-party tools I think are worth knowing about. I haven't had a big navigate around in there myself, but you got the option to log in there? No, I'm not sure. Resource, region, and player.
Okay, if I click on what looks like an account button, it's actually taking me...
Takes you to GitHub, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. It looks like it's just a lookup tool then, so you don't actually log in. So you can have a look at different players. Just maybe get a player overview and have a look at my account and just see how we see what it actually shows, because based on the post, it looks like it's a really cool resource to know about. Total net positive DEC. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's plenty of info here to really dig your teeth into, isn't there? Lots of filters. Cool. Yeah, so just another resource there that I saw that is worth knowing about and clicking around on. And he mentioned in the post, which I'll share the share the actual post, new release. If you want to put that in the description of the show, that's his actual post about it. But all sorts of ways of making sure that land is being run sort of efficiently as possible, seeing opportunities and things that you're doing right and getting wrong. I think it's, especially now when it's early, you're doing stuff. If you can get it right now, then it'll be right for you for months and months and months. And now's that time when you kind of want to start right. Otherwise, you end up with cards where they shouldn't be, and then it just becomes a mess. So I've tried to be reasonably careful with all that and what cards go where, but you can only do so much. So I'm looking forward to deep diving on that tool. Thank you, Beaker, for that, mate, and having a closer look to see where I'm need to make some changes to get some more efficiency going on.
Yeah. And would that help with that, like when we were looking before at the swap pools, like I said, like how do we measure whether you're ahead or not? Is this, do you think we'll be able to show that?
Yeah, I think if you're having a look at your own, even if you look at what's going on at the time for you, and then compare that to, just have a look, and then compare that with a week ago or a month ago. It's cute, the little farmer up there. You can include or exclude taxes, location filters. This is more, which region, which tract, which plot, attributes, rarity, resources, webs. Yeah, so there's all sorts of players. So I think it's just about, for me, my metric is what percentage of each pool am I? I want to aim for being, if you look at region metrics, there's all sorts of, and I know Azircon talks about this page a lot. So we're now at 32% active. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 33% of plots are now up and running. Active versus inactive deeds per region. Well, that's going to be awkward. My regions are going to be right at the bottom there, I reckon. 37. 37 is bad. Yeah, man, there's heaps of information in here, though. Resource metrics. So for me, it's like I want to get to 1% of it, of the pool for all of the different resources. So that's how I guess track progress and what's good, what's working, what's where I need to pick up. Because again, that's resources, right? That's income. People want to come, they want to play this game, they want to swap stone for wood. They're swapping my stone for my wood. Great, cool. That's my income. And again, I don't have to worry so much about robots anymore.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. And the post about it is really detailed as well. Yeah,
he's doing a lot of good work. And again, he said, if you want to support me, instead of, donations and stuff, just upvote my witness, my validator witness, which is fantastic, right? Like the fact that we can support people who are building tools like this for the community. I know the Peak Monsters guys are right up there too. Javi and Asgarth are, and they're there because they're building things that are good for the community. And that was the original intent with Hive, with the witnesses. Who's doing dev work, who's rolling out updates, who's engaged and making contributions. They're the people I want to support.
Maybe that's something we could compile for a future episode, because there's probably a lot of people who want to be involved, but just don't know who's doing what with all the projects and so forth in the background. Maybe we could, compile a list to say, well, look, here, if we're not trying to sway your opinion or change your mind if you have one, but if you have no idea but you want to help, here's our recommendation: go vote for these people.
Yeah, or even we could talk to Kiyokis about his Splinter Stats validator page and have the option there to include links to tools that person's developed. So on that validator page, there could be a field there that links to Beaker's page that we've just been looking at, right? So that people can click through and go, oh yeah, here's a whole lot of new resources I didn't know existed, new ways to view that same information or different ways to view it. and the like. And then I can also say, okay, I really value this tool. I'm going to go and support that guy right there. Click vote, and away you go. I think that would be a valuable thing for Kiyokis to add into his site, and then that would help us too, because we want to do an episode on that. We can just run down the site and run down that page and have a look at them.
Yeah.
I guess it does leave out other ways that validators are necessarily helping the community. But I guess YouTubers could have a link to the YouTube channel, for example, so you can click on that and say, yeah, here's my, so a field there that person can log in and populate with whatever they like would probably be the way to do it. And then Kiyokis doesn't have to worry about keeping track of it and updating it. They just log in on that page and say, what other random URL or URLs would you like to add here to demonstrate your usefulness to the community? And then Beaker could put that up there, and Bulldog can put up a link to his YouTube channel. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Because, I don't even know how many, like, on the Hive blockchain, it's what, 30 witnesses? Or 30 votes
top 30s.
that you have? Yeah.
Yeah, 30 votes, but it's top 20 or top 21 are what really matters.
Yeah.
Actually, the top 17. 17 of that top 21 is what really, really matters. That's the super majority of the top 20.
But as a member, you're entitled to, you have 30 votes.
Yeah.
What is it in Splinterlands?
You only have 10.
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a lot easier to compile a top 10 list for people who haven't done anything.
It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Creepiest shit you'll ever hear. Takes a village to raise a child. That is creepy. Because it means parents are not enough. We've decided that parents are insufficient. It takes a village.
Well, that saying goes back, because this is one of the stories that Terence McKenna likes to tell often, with the introduction of psilocybin into the human diet and the expansion of the size of the brain. That going back to hunter-gatherer societies, quite often the case, like with the full moon-based ceremonies, accompanied a lot of psychedelics and orgies. And then, of course, with the seasons, the men would go off hunting, and then they come back and then there's new babies in the village. Now, everyone knows who the mother is, but no one knows who the father is. So the child became a child of the village. Everyone raised the child together. No one knew who the father was.
Yeah.
And then as the terrain and the environment started changing and lush vegetation became savannas, mushrooms became less and less, the ego sort of resurfaces, and then this is where the concept of ownership came from. My woman, my child, my spear, my house, and then we sort of started advancing towards nuclear weapons with this concept of mine.
Like the gods must be crazy. This is there's plenty for everybody of everything, but then there appears this one thing that's a finite that everybody wants, but only one person can have. The dangers and evils of the concept of ownership. But it's a necessary evil when we don't exist in. We need ownership where there is scarcity, because it's better than the alternative, which is just fighting each other.
Yeah.
That still exists anyway. whether ownership's prevalent or not.
We can both agree that there's this line in the sand, and that side is yours and this side is mine. But when we get down to the last kangaroo, well, does it matter what side of the line that kangaroo's on if you're hungry?
Yeah.
That's right.
It all comes down to resources.
Yeah. But see, if you've got a fence up, then you can take the long-term approach where you plant crops and water them and pay attention to them and work on them, and then you get the bounty for that. But the tragedy of the commons is if everybody owns it, then there's no incentive for one person to invest a whole lot of stuff in it, right? So it's only ownership that brings us out of that gods must be crazy, far remote pygmy environment, right?
You're not going to sell mangoes in Colombia.
It's
pointless.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like air. Why would I pay somebody for something that's ubiquitous? Yeah.
And speaking of ubiquitous, it is earthquake.
Let's do it.
I've been practicing my segues. You probably noticed.
You're good at it.
Yeah.
You're good.
All right, let's have a look at earthquake. This one's pretty simple. I don't think there's anything strange or unusual about. We did have a comment on a YouTube video from someone saying that when we're doing our battles, we should actually also include a random rule set as well. So we have the rule set of the week plus a random rule set, because how rare is it where you get one rule set in a challenge? And it gives us a little bit of variance and variability. So
Good point.
earthquake. So tonight, for example, earthquake would be every time, but then we also, the system can chuck as a random one as well.
I don't think the challenge screen's set up for that. I know Nate said that he was going to review and change a lot of the layouts in various different screens, including the challenge screen.
You've done it before by accident.
Yeah, so you can choose a specific. I can choose a specific second rule set, but I don't see any way to say I want earthquake plus one
and
random.
a random.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's possible.
Doesn't do that.
So I could just close my eyes and scroll and click, but we can't just say any other random that it's not not up to us. So all right, earthquake in Little League. I use that example all the time. So Pufe Puse, Gio, I've sent you an invite for a challenge.
Yeah.
You're going to share your screen, Gio?
When earthquake in Little League, because they're the ones I mention as examples quite often.
Let me get out of some links before I do. 2 seconds. Okay. I will do it now. Screen.
28 mana.
Yes.
99 when the league, I suppose.
Oh man, hold up. Okay, yeah, it's that one. Yep, share. See that?
Yep.
Cool. $28 matter. We got Little League and Earthquake.
I mean, I'm done. I'm submitted.
I haven't even started.
Cool. I can watch your process then.
Yes, I haven't really picked anything. Is there a 4-mana weapons trainer or something?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Huh, okay. Guess no 4-mana weapons trainer.
Well, you could put WEA into search ability and you'd find out pretty quick.
Hmm.
There you go.
No joy. Not in white anyway. Not in the life team.
No.
There might be options in blue, but none spring to mind.
Yeah, same. Okay. What else? Is there any? There we go. What's that? Okay. Guess stick with this.
So you're giving everybody armor from your eagle there. It's going to take me a while to punch through your fella at the back, Gattacus or Galactus or whatever he is, who
You do have Grenadier. That's cool.
taunts and the like. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Grenadier now will have 2 targets. He'll hit the guy at the back and strip the wings off the eagle, and then he'll also not miss your Pellicle Conjurer and strip the wings off him too. I think this is me.
I think so too.
I'm reducing your range damage like you're reducing mine, but I'm more relying on. I kind of feel like I'm more relying on shatter. Sorry, not shatter. Snare.
Snare, yeah.
Yeah, than trying to do much damage. I'm more focused on letting the earthquake do the damage. So you're doing -1 to my ranged. I'm doing -1 to yours. But I'm not going to do a lot of missing, I don't think.
Gio, what is that card with the golden bird on it?
Oh, yeah. It's Tower Griffin.
Tower Griffin.
Tower
Okay.
Griffin.
Yeah, I bought it when it was like cheap. Everyone's offloading cards, and when all the scares was happening, like in the game.
Yeah.
And people were like dumping these for like next to nothing. And
it's such a great option, though, right? He gives everybody armor and he flies himself. Like, what's not to love?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a decent card.
Look, you got a couple of martyrs there, and if you're whatever she is, Harpy, I think your 3rd card there, if she can get martyr boosted, and she cannot survive long enough that Grenadier dies before he can snare her, she could really do me some damage there, right? She could really hack through my back row. I'm not doing any thorns damage, so she's not going to have to worry that she's going to get hurt anyway. So she's the one I'm scared of.
Well, let's find out. First miss on the Conjurer.
Yeah, there's the miss. And another. Yeah, I think you got it, Gio. She's too scary now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah, she just got too nasty. That's good. You use the earthquake to kill those martyr cards next to her and really, really boost her up while diverting my firepower elsewhere. I like it. How about you guys have a battle then? I know Gio's pressed for time. I'll sit over here and lick my wounds.
What happens if you click the box there, select elements?
That's where you can choose which are available, Yeah. And we could do that. We could have an Earth episode where we just do Earth battles, Earth versus Earth, and we can do both. We could do a Death Earthquake episode where we just do Death Earthquake matches. I think you're muted, Gio.
Yes, I was. My bad.
Have you talking to us or talking to somebody else?
Oh, no, I was talking to you. Yeah, okay. Enough about that. No, because Ava came in, I quickly just muted just to say something to her. Yeah. Got to give. It's got to give. That ain't it. That's not it.
If you're referring to the winning team, no, that's definitely not it.
Trash talk. Love it.
It's not an easy one. Not an easy one. Need to move this out of the way. Mana. Let's do zeros. Yeah,
You want to feed my scavenger, huh?
absolutely. You don't got no scavengers. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that.
So you got one card there doing damage.
Yep. You know it.
And nothing's snaring my guys.
Nah. You got none of that. And none
Yeah,
of that.
The cube, though.
Yeah, my Pelacor Bandit is not going to punch through the cube. He's going to heal himself every round, and he's
Yeah.
sneaking him. So it's going to be totally up to Kyle.
Yes.
Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Deceiver has phase.
No.
It's not phase, it's backfire. Okay.
Fire.
I get those confused.
Yeah. But no one's going to be hitting them anyway because my Bandit's going for the cube.
I think Geo's going to outlast outplay on this one. We'll go to fatigue.
Let's find out.
Who silenced my Kai?
It was
He was.
my.
Is your what?
It was. He's gone now. It was that 0 mana death card.
Okay.
Oh no,
Fiend,
you got this.
Soul Fiend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your front row collapsed too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Well
Nice
done,
love.
Bob.
All right. So thanks for joining us on episode 176.
Love
All right. You going to send me one, Matt?
Yep. Let's do it. He's all eager now. He's got a win under his belt, and he's all eager. Earthquake. And equal opportunity. So everyone has opportunity.
Yeah.
I'll pick the rule set. I'll pick the ability that Geo beat me.
Last time it was only 17 mana. This time it's only 15 mana. Jeez.
Well, you're certainly hitting me hard, but I plan to hit you pretty hard too.
Yeah. But I'm healing. You're not.
I still think me. I think
No one,
between the blast from my first hit and then the reflected magic back at you, if I can strip off your armor with the first hit and then hit you really hard the second, I think I might have you. I think this is me.
interesting that none of us are taking advantage of the opportunity rule set with 15 mana. Oh, what?
Yeah.
I wasn't anticipating that extra healing.
Yeah.
What damage,
Yeah,
I mean. Damage. Healed for 8.
That's a
Attack
llama
last
beatdown.
stand.
for 8.
Yeah. Last stand, you get a big, heavy hitter, and then you give him last stand. He can just often do so much damage that it just wipes the floor. Especially with blast, because that'll really cut through. Like if you got something with shield repair, I could be hitting it all day and not getting far. But with that Minotaur Warlord, the blast damage hits the back row hard enough, the second guard hard enough that you can kind of punch through that.
Yeah.
He doesn't dodge much though. He's got to kill you in 2 rounds, or you're going to hack through him. So happy with that.
All right. Who was first up? It was you guys, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Gio, you got time for another?
Yeah, I'll have another one.
All right, I'll send you a challenge. Did you have a preference on rule set, earthquake, and something else?
None whatsoever. Maybe earthquake and no armor or something. No shield.
Yep.
You want to share, Gio?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah. Yeah. That's it. We're waiting. Yeah.
Earthquake and unprotected.
Nice.
$29.
Okay. Oh, this makes it a bit more. Yeah. Makes it a bit more that.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Shit. What's that? Oh, it's only 29 mana. Dang.
Only luxury.
Luxury. No. No. So, what is that? Okay. Something's got to give. What is it?
Yeah, that most recent card you picked is so brutal in Earthquake. Targets flying cards, flies itself.
Yeah.
Night
Yeah, it
Wing.
is. Yes, I believe it is. We got no armor. No, maybe I'll leave this here. Yeah. Let's do that. There we go. Oh.
Well, you're going to take out my cockatrice pretty much first round with your night guy. If my Gorth can take out your gladiator and get bloodlust, then I'm in for a win. Otherwise, I think I might be in trouble here.
Who knows? Who knows? Let's just
Mm.
look. Let's just play.
I think you've got it, Geo. I'm calling it for you. That play with the weapons training and that gladiator with magic damage, just so powerful.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm not going quite as fast as I thought either. I thought I'd have a huge speed advantage, but
Golf is doing it. Oh yeah.
yeah, no, he just didn't. He couldn't stand up to the magic. I was trying to hit you hard enough that the earthquake did the damage, but yeah, just didn't get there. Nicely done. Well played.
Send me one, Geo.
Yeah. It's just the math right now. I beat Matt, but can't beat you. Wait, where is the earthquake? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, all cards, glads. Yeah. Dent.
At least I got some mana this time.
That's a lot of mana. It's a fair bit. Just got the give. Oh, damn. Okay. Whatever.
So again, with the weapons training and the magic damage.
That's shatter.
Yeah, I was going to say Bob's got armor, but you're shattering the armor too. So that void armor is not going to help much. Dark Hound's attracting all of your firepower up there, so you can't really see Captain Katie getting much of a boost.
This is very orange, yeah, but he's also getting my little. He's taunting me as well.
Yeah, you're both taunting up the back row. Yeah.
I think Bob might have it with Uriel. Maybe if he outlasts, and maybe if my Ra actually gets hits in, like can actually do damage and apply some, and not slip up because it's only got 2 speed. Outside of that, yeah.
If Bob had some triage to heal up his taunt at the back, I kind of feel like he would definitely take it out. But it's going to be RNG. I think I agree with you, Gio. It's very much going to be depending on whether Uriel hits that on his second round, takes out the Chaos Agent.
And how much poison I spread around as well.
Yeah.
Let's play.
And if Captain Katie gets a win and gets some bloodlust up, things will get interesting too.
Yeah, look at that. My guy just missed twice as well. What a shame.
Katie's down to one
Yeah.
life though. 2 now with the Martyr.
He's got the resurrect. So this is all good for Captain Katie too, right? But then Uriel
Yeah.
did just miss Chaos Agent.
Okay, Martyr again. So she's martyring up, but she's not bloodlusting.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh.
she's targeting the Hound, but he's got Scavenge. He's going to be really hard to cut through considering he's got
Oh, look at
Void.
that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was deadly.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's actually quite nice to watch. Yeah, because like I don't see a lot of death plays, anymore as much, That's why I thought I'd change it up.
Yeah, good work, man.
Yeah. All right,
So
guys,
who's next?
I'm gonna
All right, Bob, I'll
leave
send you.
while I'm ahead,
Yeah, I'll send you a challenge. We'll see you next week, Gio.
Yeah, take care, boys. We'll see you then.
See you, mate.
We've only got
Give
5
up.
minutes, Joe. One more game, or
I'm sorry, man. I gotta pack it up. But I will give you the first spot to beat me. I'll give you the first line of order. What do you call it? You're on the reserved list. You're right there. You're right there for elective surgery. Right there, number one. You're gonna put a clinic on me next week. All right, guys.
right.
Take care.
See you,
See ya.
mate. See you next week.
Bye.
All right. You want to send me a challenge, Matt?
Oh, already done, mate.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, love me some Captain Katie.
All right. And I put the triage in. Took your advice on that one there, but didn't have enough mana left to put a taunt in there anyway. So that was the whole idea of the triage to heal the taunt, but I didn't go with the taunt.
Yeah, it don't matter. Grenadiers just strip the wings off your Night, whatever he is, Night Reaper.
Damn.
Yeah, Olivia. And you know she's going to steal abilities that are suited to the rule set.
Yeah.
Because that's what your opponent plays, is abilities that are suited to the rule set. So
Yeah.
I do like to bring her in. See, she stole Resurrect
Yeah.
and resurrected one of her own cards. That's great. And she's stolen Flying. Yeah, this is brilliant.
And all of the rebirth resurrects. It just keeps giving her more and more opportunities to steal stuff.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And your Captain Katie hasn't been lucky with the kills at all.
No.
She's not been able to get the kills and build that momentum.
Yeah. You're on your third row of skills there now with Olivia.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Eventually, I've had it before where she just runs out of abilities to steal off the other side. It's very rare to lose after that.
Yeah. Alrighty. So thanks for joining us for episode 176. We will be back next week, 177. We have something in the makings to make next week a special episode. We'll see if we can pull it together. See you then.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm Boba Fett. Peace out.